When my parents left for their anniversary getaway, the babysitter they hired, Miss Clara, asked, "Where's the discipline room?" I gave an awkward chuckle. "We don't have timeouts. My parents don't even ground me." "That changes now," she said firmly, pulling a chair toward the storage closet in the hallway. She was serious about locking me in there. I grabbed my phone to message my parents about this unhinged babysitter, but Miss Clara snatched it away. "No electronics. Your parents' rules." I darted to the landline and dialed Mom. She answered right away. "Mom, this babysitter's trying to trap me in a closet." Her voice came back icy. "Miss Clara's in charge. Follow her instructions. It's for your own benefit. We'll see you Monday." Dad shouted in the background, "We love you." Then the line went dead. Before I could process it, Miss Clara had arranged the closet with just a wooden chair inside. "Time for reflection starts now. 1 hour." "For what?" I protested. "I didn't do anything," she stared at me. "After what you pulled last Tuesday, your parents want immediate correction." She glanced at her watch. 59 minutes left." I sat in the dark closet, fuming and confused, racking my brain about last Tuesday. I'd gone to school, come home, played video games, that was it. When the hour was up, she opened the door. "You've earned dinner." She set a bowl of plain oatmeal and a glass of water on the table. "This is ridiculous," I said. "My parents wouldn't." She cut me off, screaming, "Quiet," and hurled the glass at the wall, shattering it. That night, she made me write a 500-word essay on respecting other people's belongings. As I wrote, my phone buzzed from her locked bag. She checked it, her expression hardening. "Your friend Leo's texting. He says, 'Did your dad catch you with the PlayStation stuff?'" I was clueless about what he meant. The next morning, Miss Clara yanked my blanket off at 6 a.m. Hard work builds character. "You're scrubbing this house top to bottom today." "No way," I shot back. "I'm not your servant." I threatened to call child services, pulling my pillow over my head. She didn't flinch. "This is all legal. Clean willingly, or I'll stand here with a gallon of bleach until you do." As I scrubbed the kitchen tiles with a toothbrush, she snapped photos. "Your parents want proof of responsibility," she said, aiming her phone at me like I was a suspect. I stopped trusting her completely after that. That afternoon, she declared a silent contemplation period from 2 to 6 p.m. I sat still while she read a novel, glancing up to ensure I hadn't moved. When I shifted slightly, she barked, "Reset the clock. 4 more hours." That evening, she forced me to watch a documentary about youth detention centers. Teens in orange jumpsuits described how one bad choice ruined their lives. "This could be you if you don't change," she said during a scene about a kid who stole from his family. "Your cellmate won't care if you're crying for your mom." "I didn't steal anything," I insisted. She smirked. "Denial's normal. Your dad found the charges Tuesday night." She pulled out her phone and laughed while recording me crying. "Your parents need to see remorse." But my parents still made my favorite pancakes and let me stay up late. Something wasn't right. The next morning, she woke me at 5 a.m. by tossing ice water on my face. She dragged my mattress to the garage. "Thieves in jail sleep on concrete. This is training." She made me ask permission for bathroom breaks, timed at 3 minutes supervised. My best friend Nate sneaked a call through the landline. "Dude, Leo's panicking. His mom wants to talk to your parents about paying them back." Beep. Miss Clara ripped the phone cord from the wall. "That's another night on the floor." That afternoon, she showed me bank statements with 5 highlighted charges of $99.99 each to PlayStation Network, timestamped 3:47 p.m. when I was home from school. "Still denying it?" she asked, pointing at the dates. On Sunday, my sister called Miss Clara's phone and she let me talk on speaker. "Just admit it," my sister said. "They know everything." "Know what?" I asked. She sighed. "Leo's mom showed them the group chat messages, dummy, where you explained how to use Dad's credit card for PlayStation purchases without getting caught. You wrote, 'Keep it under $100 so the bank doesn't flag it.' Dad never checks his statements." It hit me like a brick. I had told Leo how to do it. I'd done it myself 3 times and never got caught. Leo was supposed to delete those messages. Miss Clara took the phone back. "Your parents will be here in 2 hours. Prepare your confession." When they arrived, they looked drained. "Forget the money," Dad said. "We knew about that months ago. We were testing you." Mom nodded. "To see if you'd blame Leo or take responsibility." I'd failed their test. "So here's the plan," Dad said, holding plane tickets. "Boarding school in Colorado, tonight." But Miss Clara interrupted, pulling a thick folder from her bag. "Actually, there's a new arrangement." She flipped through pages. "Your parents hired me for more than a weekend." My parents exchanged glances as she laid out a contract on the coffee table, detailing daily supervision for a month, Check-ins, monitored homework, no devices. Mom signed immediately. Dad hesitated. "Is this really necessary?" Miss Clara pointed to the folder. "Repeated deception, theft, teaching others criminal behavior." She tapped the contract. "Boarding school is $20,000 a semester. I'm $200 a day." Dad signed. "I begged to get a job, pay Leo's family back, anything but another month with her." "It's decided," Mom said. "You taught another kid to steal." My sister, watching from the stairs, looked genuinely sorry for me. Sunday, Miss Clara plastered schedules and charts across the kitchen. Monday after school, she was in the living room with a clipboard and timer. She made me empty my backpack, inspecting every pocket. My phone went into her bag until homework was done. She set the timer for 2 hours while I worked at the dining table, her eyes tracking my every move. Tuesday at school, the counselor, Mr. Tate, pulled me from class. I told him about the closet, the floor, everything. He took notes and said he'd need to investigate what constituted appropriate discipline. At lunch, Leo avoided me in the hallway. Word had spread. Some kids called me a snitch. Others said I'd corrupted Leo. Nate stayed by my side at lunch but kept glancing around, like he didn't want to be seen with me. Wednesday, Miss Clara laid out 4 sheets of paper. Apology letters to Leo, his mom, dad, and the credit card company, each 500 words minimum. She recorded me writing them, saying, "Your parents want proof of accountability." I wrote about teaching Leo the $100 trick, knowing it was wrong. Thursday, the school called during dinner. Dad put it on speaker. The secretary said Mr. Tate wanted a meeting about my home environment. Miss Clara grabbed the phone. "I'm part of his support team. I'll be there." It was set for Friday morning. We crammed into Mr. Tate's small office. He had a file spread out. "I'm concerned about the isolation and sleep deprivation." Mom got defensive. "Normal punishments don't work with him." Miss Clara flashed a certificate in behavioral correction. "My methods are legal and evidence-based." Mr. Tate flipped through his papers. "I'm obligated to document a student's home environment. If this escalates, I'll have to contact Child Protective Services." Dad paled. "Are you threatening us?" Mr. Tate shook his head. "I'm stating my reporting duties." Dad turned to Mom. "Maybe we've gone too far." Mom snapped. "If we don't follow through, he'll never learn." Miss Clara showed videos she'd taken of me. The meeting ended with Mr. Tate taking notes and my parents signing forms acknowledging his concerns. That afternoon, the phone rang. A woman, Lena Carter from the bank's fraud department, needed to speak with me about the unauthorized charges. My stomach churned as Mom handed me the phone. Lena asked for details about the PlayStation purchases and Leo's involvement. I admitted teaching him the $100 trick. She typed as I spoke, her keyboard clicking. When I said I didn't think Leo would do it, she cut me off. "Intent doesn't matter. You enabled fraud and profited from it." She'd submit her report to the district attorney within 48 hours. Miss Clara said this proved her program was essential. She introduced a logbook, requiring me to record every minute of my day and limited bathroom breaks to 3 minutes, supervised. Saturday, she announced 6 hours of restorative work in the garage, filled with dusty boxes and old furniture. She photographed me sorting items into piles. "Order fosters discipline," she said. I found old photo albums, family trips to the lake, amusement parks, happier times. Cleaning oil stains off the concrete while looking at those pictures made everything hurt more. My hands blistered, but she allowed only 5-minute water breaks, filming me each time. That evening, Uncle Greg called. Mom explained the theft and Leo. Greg offered me a job at his diner to repay Leo's family. Miss Clara insisted on supervising my shifts for behavioral correction. Greg sounded confused but agreed. Sunday, we went to Leo's house for a restitution meeting. Their living room felt suffocating with Leo's mom, his sister Ava, my parents, and Miss Clara. Leo sat on the stairs, watching. I read my apology letter aloud, my voice shaking, admitting to ruining our friendship. Leo stared at the floor. Ava, a pre-law student, presented a contract, 80% of my earnings to their family until $500 was repaid. Everyone signed. Monday, Miss Clara inspected my backpack again, setting her timer for homework. Tuesday, Mr. Tate pulled me out of class, asking why I seemed exhausted. I told him everything. He said he'd make calls about discipline boundaries. At lunch, Leo's friends glared at me. Nate warned me they were planning something. Wednesday, Miss Clara assigned apology letters again, filming me as I wrote. Thursday, the school called about Mr. Tate's meeting. Friday, we met in his office. He reiterated concerns about Miss Clara's methods. Mom defended her, Dad questioned if it was too much. Miss Clara showed more videos. Mr. Tate documented everything, warning about CPS. That afternoon, Lena Carter called again. I explained the PlayStation scheme. She said the district attorney would decide on charges. Miss Clara added bathroom permissions and a daily journal to her rules. Saturday, I cleaned the garage again, finding more old photos that made me ache for simpler times. Sunday, we met Leo's family again. Ava updated the payment plan. Leo still wouldn't look at me. That night, I overheard my parents arguing about Miss Clara's $200 daily fee versus boarding school's cost. They agreed on 2 more weeks with her, then a reevaluation. Monday, Miss Clara searched my backpack and timed my homework. Tuesday, Mr. Tate checked in, noting my teachers saw improvement. Wednesday, I started community service at the food pantry, sorting donations with a guy named Victor. He was there for shoplifting and explained the diversion program. It felt less daunting hearing it from him. Thursday, family therapy with Dr. Ellis was tense. Dad admitted noticing the charges months ago but waiting for my confession. Mom said she'd wanted immediate action. They argued until Dr. Ellis redirected us to me. I admitted using Dad's card for a $60 game after he said no, starting with small charges that went unnoticed. Dr. Ellis asked if I saw why Dad felt betrayed. Friday, school was rough. Kids called me a thief. Nate said Leo's friends were plotting something. That weekend, Miss Clara recorded reflection sessions, grilling me about every dollar stolen and why I thought I'd outsmart the bank. She played back my answers, twisting them to show I was a calculated criminal. Monday, Uncle Greg had me start at his diner, washing dishes in a steamy kitchen. I earned $60, which went to Leo's family. Tuesday, Dr. Ellis called an emergency session after seeing Miss Clara's recordings. He warned her methods could backfire. My parents were split, but Miss Clara insisted she was effective. Wednesday, at the food pantry, Victor said he might keep volunteering after his hours. I started thinking I might too. Thursday, Dr. Ellis had us draft a family contract. No extreme punishments, better communication, and my promise to stop lying. Friday, Miss Clara's final day, she presented a 20-page report on my progress, recommending more supervision. My parents paid her and said we'd manage without her. That weekend felt freer without her timers. We ate dinner as a family, talking about normal things. Monday, Miss Rose at the courthouse reviewed my progress, 40 hours of community service, payments on track, therapy consistent. She reduced my check-ins to monthly. Tuesday, I ran into Leo at school. He gave a small nod but didn't speak. Nate said Leo didn't hate me but couldn't trust me. Wednesday at the diner, Uncle Greg offered to teach me cooking if I kept proving myself. Thursday, Miss Rose noted my progress, saying I could finish early. Friday, my sister joined therapy, tearfully admitting she'd seen me change into someone she didn't know. 3 months in, I paid Leo's family the final $100. Miss Rose recommended closing my case early. The judge sealed my record, warning that future issues would mean prosecution. My parents smiled at me, a rare moment. We celebrated with a simple dinner. Mom admitted overreacting with Miss Clara. A week later, I saw Miss Clara at the store with another kid, looking as miserable as I had. She nodded at me and moved on. I realized she no longer intimidated me. Uncle Greg gave me a raise to $12 an hour, impressed by my reliability. The money felt earned, not stolen. The routine school, diner, food pantry, therapy was grueling but kept me grounded. I hadn't thought about gaming in weeks. Maybe I was finally moving forward.